skills and you have deep product knowledge, but you have an accent. I had just invited my manager to tag along with me on all my Sacramento sales presentations. Oh my God, I have an accent. Yes, I have an accent. Very likely I'll forever have an accent. If we're trying to get meta, we all have an accent. But he was probably referring to my accent as a speaker of ESL or English as a second language. I was born in the States and I grew up in Colombia. I lived here longer than I did over there. And here I experienced some of the happiest days of my life. I've seen both of my daughters be born. I've met and married the woman of my dreams. And here I experienced the unexpected ecstasies of having my first bite of avocado toast. But I still have an accent. My accent is a reminder that I grew up somewhere else, that I learned a different language before I learned English, that I learned how to say first something as intimate as my first name, Carlos, before I learned how to say it so people here would understand it. Carlos. He then said, well, at least it's not as bad as Irish people. Irish people talk like they have a potato in their mouth. I said, listen, before you keep going, I think you should know that my wife is half Irish. Am I the only one that finds that offensive? I mean, I'm not talking about the accent part. That happens to people with accents all the time. I'm talking about his choice of tutor. From all the root vegetables he could have chosen, he went with potatoes. Did he not listen about the potato famine? Many Irish people wish they had potatoes in their mouth when they died of starvation in the potato famine. It's this kind of weird conversations that I have learned to coach myself through them. I tell myself people are highlighting my accent because they like it, or I speak 2.5 languages, and while it will be really nice not to have an accent, I still have a lot of Italian to learn. Or if people are being particularly mean, I tell myself there are more intelligent people that do not speak English than there are native English speakers. Isn't that a bewildering thought? I challenge an assumption that to succeed in life you have to speak perfect English. Maybe an assumption that was true 50 years ago, but it doesn't hold anymore. Because having an accent is not a crime. The crime is discounting people that have one without realizing everything they can bring to the table. I don't let it get me down. I have fun with it. Like when I was in Las Vegas with my coworkers and I said that we should all go to Maggiano's, and I said it with the proper Italian, and I was corrected on how I should say it so they would understand me. And I apologize. I'm sorry for saying it right. I forgot that knowing only one language is the true American national pastime. But it doesn't mean that all people with accents have fun with it. Because when you say to an ESL speaker, it triggers insecurities of belonging. They're thinking, will I ever be understood? Or more accurate, will I ever be understood here the way that I was understood back home? So when you say some ESL speakers don't hear or don't think this person is hard of hearing and mumble, my statement was outrageous. They think, oh, this person is making fun of my accent. And it happened to my mom. My mom was remodeling her house, and she was at the hardware store looking for coffee, and she was overwhelmed by all the options. And at that time, I was a construction manager, so I used my expertise to guide her. So I just said, Mom, the guys in my crew swear by this new brand. It's called the Big Black Caulk. Now, Caulk and Caulk sound exactly the same, especially in the mouth of a ESL speaker. The Caulk doesn't care that the mouth has an accent. Now, I didn't want to make that joke, But I wanted to get ahead of it because somebody was going to make it. It is low-hanging fruit, and it's not fair. I don't want to be upset with him for making that joke. I thought of the joke first. That's what I did. And to be honest, I thought my mom would just return. Carlos, you're an idiot. That is a tasteless joke. And I'm your mother. End of conversation, click. And I would have blamed my dad because he wasn't around when I made this kind of jokes. I never had somebody say, hey, that's your mother, show some respect. But yeah, don't forget that it is my mother, so please show some respect. And let's just stay focused on the fact that I sent my mom on the hunt for good deals on like big laptop. So from listening to the call, I could see my mom approaching the clerk and saying, hey, where can I find the big black cock? And the clerk said, of confusion. My mom didn't stop. Take me to the big black cock. And the clerk kept repeating, And my mom said, este inglés cree que porque yo hablo español, se va a hacer que no me entienda. The singer soul is acting like because I have an accent, he's going to pretend he doesn't know what I'm asking for. And then she just kept shouting, take me to the big black cock. And in the haze, she hung up the phone. But it didn't matter, because by then, that day will go down in history as one of the happiest days in my life.